Look, bro, I know you have a lot of shit going on. You're dealing with a lot of problems. But the truth is, I don't care and no one cares. I'm dealing with my own shit. That is exactly how everyone thinks, whether they realize it or not, whether they're conscious or not. Thing is, we all live in our own version of reality. The world revolves around each and every one of us. And everyone is dealing with their own problems, with their own shit. Sure, things go wrong. Things go wrong for me all the time. And there's times where I just want to vent, man. It is what it is. It's life. But then you're thinking about venting. Reach out to a family member. He's also stressed with his problems. Reach out to a mentor. He's also stressed with his problems. Your girlfriend, for sure, don't vent to your girlfriend. You reach out to friends. They're also stressed the fuck out because they have their own problems. And that's it. That's really life. And the thing is, until you become aware of this fact, of this reality, you will not be free, because oftentimes we live, like I said, in our version of reality in which everything we see that we externalize is essentially that. It's just a reflection of our own internal beliefs, our own internal feelings, the way we are projecting into the world our expectations, essentially. For example, if you reach out to someone and they don't respond, or they take a day to respond, or they never respond at all, and you get upset, that is your fault, because you have an expectation that that person should reply to you. In your reality, in your universe, you expect a response, but in his universe, maybe he's dealing with a bunch of other shit. Maybe you are 20 in his list of priorities and you're not first. Same with the chick who ghosted you. In her world, she's looking at you and thinking, okay, am I going to look better if I say yes to this person, if I interact with this person, if people see me hanging around with him? In your world, you're just thinking what you are getting out of the interaction. But everyone else is doing the same thing. That's just how life is. And the truth is, everyone is looking for positivity in their life. If you want to run a social experiment on this, next time you run into a friend, family member, or someone, unless that person is extremely iron-minded, then chances are that if you ask them, or they ask you, how are you doing? You can respond one or two ways. You can either say, hey, everything is fine, like the societal norm, or you can just start venting and start saying how tough of a time you're going through, all the shit that you're dealing with right now, etc. And just look at how the person responds. Oftentimes, the response is going to be very, very dismissive. And it might seem pessimistic, but the truth is, everyone is dealing with their own problems, and everyone thinks that their problems are more important and bigger than yours. So, for that reason, I don't really believe in venting. Of course, this is not to be taken to the extreme. It's good to have someone to vent, for lack of a better word, but ultimately everyone is concerned with their own problems, and really they don't give a fuck about your problems. I don't give a fuck about your problems. I'm worried about my problems, and everyone thinks this way. And until you understand this concept, because it is the only way to be free of expectations, to, how do I phrase this differently? It's the only way that you're going to not put pressure on yourself for other people not living up to your expectations, because they are seeing life, seeing reality through a whole different lens, through their priority list, through their values, through their beliefs, not yours. Their problems, their concerns, not yours. And this is something that it does take a while to actually internalize, especially when it comes to people close to you, let's say family members or friends, acquaintances, etc. But you have to keep in mind that everyone, the way that they interact with you, the way they see you, or the expectations they have of you, are all a reflection of themselves, their values, what they would do in your situation, or how they would react if they were in your shoes, or essentially just showing how unhappy they are because maybe they are not in the same situation as you. But ultimately, it all comes down to a reflection. They don't even see you. They're just seeing the version of themselves that they like or dislike. And that's just how it is. You have to understand this because this is the key to being able to create your reality. Understanding that everyone has a different reality and everyone is right and everyone is wrong. There is no right or wrong. Everyone's going to see what they believe. So this is something that I really think that has to be probably one of the biggest life insights that I have internalized in the past 2 years. And it's not to dismiss anyone else's problems at all, or just to not care about anyone and be completely apathetic. But essentially, you have to understand it's the way where you can externalize yourself and look at yourself from a third person point of view, but also assess the people around you, how they react, why they react a certain way, why they behave a certain way, because that is also ultimately going to give you the ability to respond to situations in the most practical, rational way possible. Just understanding that, because a lot of people live life and go through life without being aware of this concept. And until they do, then it's just it usually leads to a lot of unmet expectations. At least that's been the case for me as I've thought deeply about this, thought about it, a lot of introspection, and realized that this is completely the case, especially with any sort of relationship you may have, like I said, family members, friends, partners, etc. Think about this. Really consider the lens through which they are looking at the world, and by extension, you. So yeah, that is probably, like I said, one of the biggest life insights I've learned the past 2 years. Anyways, might be a bit pessimistic, but it's just how the world is. Sue me. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, glad you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.